Our consciousness goes somewhere else when we're on our devices.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Where does it go?
So we have a thing called a Vivaxis, and this is where we draw our Mother's Earth energy. So the moon is not a planet, it is a satellite. And what it does, it messes with us. It messes with the earth, the ocean, we are water, and also it blocks out our relationships to the rest of the planets. It's the only mineral, Shungite, that has fullerenes.
I always ask my guests, because my podcast is called Funny Universe, if you've got a funny or tragic story that has a spiritual life lesson.
Where I used to live in the Oval was this beautiful hill called, it is a beautiful hill, Wyndham Hill. So I used to go there and play my didgeridoo. So there's me, I'm sat down, I'm just shutting my eyes, doing my circle of breathing, and I'm out of my body, up and flying with the sylphons, and it's just amazing. You know, I'm having a journey, we're dancing with them, a lot different now. So all of a sudden time didn't exist. So all of a sudden I hear this, "Don't worry girls, it's only getting musical." So with that, I thought maybe that's my cue to kind of stop it, or maybe open my eyes and look around. So I'm sat down and I look around, and I'm not kidding you, there's 100 cows, honestly. So, you know, this is 15 years ago, because there's hardly any cattle around now. And but what they've done, you know, they're massive. They weigh half a ton each, but they gave me my own auric space. They were conscious of me making this and communicating with the earth and communicating with the atmosphere, because we are the atmosphere. And I went, "Ooh, I'm feeling rather small." And so that I kind of, I'd done my bow and thanked the beautiful cows that they are, because they're a wonderful animal spirit that we really abuse. And I left my piece, and then down the hill there's a sea. So I'm just kind of trying to bring myself in, ground, and, you know, come to, after that, a magic experience where these 100 cows come from. But, you know, it's a few acre field, so it's easy to miss. So I sat there, and I'm just kind of gazing and blending with the landscape, just kind of bringing myself down and root. So some dog walkers, and all of a sudden I'm seeing the dog, and, you know, it's on the lead, and the person vanishes, and I'm going, "Whoa, come on, I've got a dog, you know, really ground." And then he reappears, and then disappears again. And I go, what's wrong with this? And then I figured out that he's on his phone. So every time he's on his mobile phone, he's not present with his dog. So he's, beam me up, Spotty.
Really?
So that, you know, this is how our consciousness gets sucked in to devices.
Our consciousness goes somewhere else when we're on our devices.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Where does it go? Where does the consciousness go?
It goes wherever the processor is. So there's an energetic factor here. So we have a thing called a Vivaxis, and this is where we draw our Mother's Earth energy. So 2 weeks prior to our giving birth, she forms an energetic of the Earth, and that is our way it's called a Vivaxis. Look at that, it's brilliant. So this is a two-way flow. Comes into our left foot, left hand, does the stuff in our body, exits it our right hand, our right foot. So you can douse this and find it. It's a very important way to kind of connect and let the earth detox for us.
Okay.
But what the electronic devices will do is it will form an attachment. So if you've got an electronic healing device, instead of you naturally wanting to connect to your Vivaxis, it will connect to your terahertz, what have you. Yeah, so this is why keeping everything simple and earth generated instead of electrical is quite important. We've got to use these devices, so there is a way of cleaning this attachment.
Okay, and what is the way of cleaning the attachment?
Well, it's a process. You can't do this on 3 days before a full moon or a new moon, and 3 days after, because there's certain energy lines and grids that disappear and not are available for us.
I've got so many questions. First of all, it's interesting that you go through the left and then out through the right, because a lot of people think the divinity and the energy of the divine comes through the top of the crown chakra down, but you're saying the earth's energy is left to right. Okay. Then you said, however, if there's an electronic device, then It's pulled away a bit like Bluetooth. You're paired with the device.
Yes.
And
Good
you
way.
say, if you don't want to pair with the device, I'm just summarizing, by the way.
That's brilliant.
If you're pairing with the device, then it stops. You can't do it within the 3 days. Why? Why not 3 days before the full moon?
Because it's the lunar, the sun and lunar. So the moon is not a planet, it is a satellite. And what it does, it messes with us. It messes with the earth, the ocean, we are water. And also it blocks out our relationships to the rest of the planets. So we've switched Bluetooth.
Yeah.
Right? So instead of kind of switching back to our proper Vivaxis, the moon is a negative thing. There's going to be a lot of goddesses that don't like that because, you know, it has been, you know, it's to do with the woman's cycle and everything, you know. So as a human race, we have been manipulated and our DNA spliced.
That's a very big statement. So you said the moon is a negative thing for females or for men?
For the human race.
For the human race. But you just said it's a satellite. You just said it's
so
a
it's
satellite.
blocking our connection to the rest of the planetary and universal energies.
And why do you think that is?
There's been a book written about it by Zachary Stitchin. So he found some Sumerian tablets,
Right.
and you know this goes back to the Egyptian hieroglyphs. So it's not just one culture that's come and gone. Oh, okay. So the whole planet's been under war, and because we are sentient beings, the only place we could come from is to agree for our genetic codes to be spliced, because we know that unconditional love and our sovereignty will eventually win.
What is the reason?
So it kind of goes into the other question you're going to add, do I believe God or what's God, really? Okay, so it kind of leaches into that one, really.
Well, I'm looking forward to getting deep down into that subject soon.
And it also kind of goes down with the grid energy lays and the Freemasons, the church, the religion, and how they manipulate the magnetic force and the loving, giving earth of her energy.
So this topic is so huge, we cannot talk about it in this tiny little podcast. What we'll do is we'll do a big extended version, but just so the viewers know, please like and subscribe and follow us, and then we'll be able to have the capacity to do longer podcasts.
With 5G is what they're doing is they're accentuating the radiation at different times of the day. So certain devices has more EMFs, negative EMFs.
With EMF, I've seen a massive difference just having Shungite on the back of my phone.
Yeah,
There's a big difference. I cannot.
You can measure this.
Yes, you can measure it, but also I can see like if I don't have Shungite on the back of my phone's always breaking because it's just too much, especially around certain people, which is interesting. But now I protect every single of my phones.
With the Tensor rings, they work just as well. For fuse boxes, if you're unlucky to have a smart meter, so things like that, Tensor rings, if because Shungite is expensive. There's a way of enhancing Shungite as well, so it's a big topic, but it's the only mineral, Shungite, that has fullerenes, and fullerenes is a geodesic dome shape that's the shape of a football. So the shape of a football is basically an Archimedean solid, which is female, so the platonic solids are male, but the icosahedron, which is the water shape, right, if you cut all the points off that, you then have the football, which is a trunicated icosahedron. So this is the football, and that is what the mineral gives off. And it's a structure that will interact with the radiation and retune.
It absorbs the low frequency and EMF to help protect.
And restructures it.
Yeah, it restructures it. It literally takes it away from the person.